September 17th, 2025. A lethal injection pierces David Joseph Pittman's arm inside Florida State Prison. 34 years on death row end in 5 minutes. The state kills him for a triple murder committed in Mulberry, Florida in 1990. A night when flames devoured a home and 3 lives. His final words leave witnesses unsettled. The story began decades earlier, when the sky over a quiet Florida town glowed orange. Mulberry, Florida, September 11th, 1990. At 3:36 a.m., someone dialed 911 from a payphone, said one word, "Fire," and hung up, no address. Dispatchers called back, but the line rang empty. Neighbors, awakened by explosions and the glow outside their windows, directed firefighters to Northeast 4th Avenue. By 3:42 a.m., the home of Clarence and Barbara Knowles burned like a torch. Flames rose 25 feet. An explosion blew away half the roof. People stood in disbelief. How could a concrete block house burn like paper soaked in gasoline? The fire chief, a veteran of 3 decades, arrived minutes later. "It burned awful fast," he admitted. "Faster than anything I'd ever seen." When firefighters finally subdued the blaze, they found not survivors, but bodies. Clarence Knowles, 60, lay dead in the living room. Barbara, 50, collapsed in the hallway. Bonnie, their 21-year-old daughter, lay lifeless in her bedroom. Autopsies would later confirm what the scene suggested. None died from the fire. All 3 had been stabbed to death before the flames were set. The murders happened on Clarence and Barbara's silver wedding anniversary. A celebration turned into tragedy. At 6:30 a.m., investigators located Bonnie's 1979 Toyota station wagon, torched and abandoned on Prairie Mine Road. That discovery led directly to one name: David Joseph Pittman. At 28, Pittman already carried a criminal history prosecutors could recite like scripture: burglary, aggravated assault, grand theft, and robbery. He had served 3 prison terms and was out on pretrial release for 2 robbery charges when the Knowles family died. But his connection to the victims wasn't just criminal. In 1985, Pittman married Marie Knowles, another daughter of Clarence and Barbara. For 2 years, he was family. He ate at their table, celebrated holidays with them, held keys to their home. The marriage dissolved into violence and fear. In divorce papers, Marie accused him of harassment, abuse, and threats. She fled to her parents' house, the very home where her family would later die. Her sworn affidavit included chilling words: "He has threatened to kill my family if I ever leave him. He has threatened to burn down my parents' house with them inside." In 1985, Bonnie herself accused Pittman of assaulting her indecently when she was 15. Charges weren't filed until 1990, and by then the statute of limitations had expired. No trial, no conviction, but the accusation haunted the family. The morning after the fire, Pittman did something unusual. He called detectives himself. "This is David Pittman," he told Detective Tom Lindsay. "I heard about what happened. I know you'll want to talk to me. I'll come in whenever you want. No lawyer, no negotiations." He voluntarily walked into the sheriff's office at 10 a.m. and spoke for 6 hours. The interrogation room was small, with cinder block walls and a metal table. Department policy then required only handwritten notes. No recording equipment, no transcript, no audio, no video exists. What's known as this? Pittman admitted stealing Bonnie's car, driving it to Prairie Mine Road, and setting it on fire. He admitted being at the house outside looking for Marie. He denied entering, but his explanation shifted. He said he was home asleep, then claimed he was driving, then mentioned stopping at a diner he couldn't identify. He remained calm and detached, never asked for a lawyer, never raised his voice, but never confessed. At 4 p.m., detectives ended the session. They charged him with arson and auto theft, crimes he admitted. Murder charges would come later. While Pittman sat in county jail, investigators built their case. The state crime lab confirmed gasoline accelerants throughout the house, multiple points of origin designed to ensure destruction. Autopsies told the story of violence. Barbara, 17 stab wounds, defensive injuries, killed in the hallway. Bonnie, 9 stab wounds, throat cut, likely attacked while asleep. Clarence, 23 stab wounds, fought the hardest, collapsed near the front door. All 3 died before the fire started. The Toyota yielded Pittman's fingerprints and gasoline residue. Soil from its tires matched earth from the Knowles driveway. Neighbors testified they saw Pittman parked outside the house repeatedly in the weeks before the murders. Barbara, they said, lived in fear of him. 6 months later, a grand jury indicted Pittman on 3 counts of first-degree murder. At 6 p.m., guards strapped him to a gurney inside the execution chamber. Through the observation window, witnesses watched as the warden stepped forward and asked if he had any final words. "I know you all came to watch an innocent man be murdered by the state of Florida," he said, his voice steady despite the restraints. "I am innocent. I didn't kill anybody." The warden nodded to the medical technician. The injection began to flow through the IV line. At 6:12 p.m., Pittman's chest rose one final time, then grew still. After 34 years on death row, his story had reached its end.